A mega project is a loud and memorable term, and when you hear it, the first countries that likely come to mind are China, Saudi Arabia, or the United States. However, for Central Asian states since 2022, there's only been one country linked to such a project: Afghanistan. It's hard to imagine Afghanistan and a mega project in the same sentence, given the country's prolonged crisis with no clear resolution. Yet, there is indeed a mega project underway, and it's no coincidence that it has captured the attention of high-ranking officials in Afghanistan's neighboring countries. Afghanistan is building an artificial river that could deprive other nations of a crucial resource: water. The idea of such a project dates back to the mid-20th century, initiated by Mohammed Daoud Khan, a progressive leader focused on improving Afghanistan's situation. His vision led to the creation of a project to divert water from the Amu Darya, a river spanning 1,490 miles with a watershed of 206,000 square miles and an average annual water discharge of 25 trillion gallons. In Central Asia, only the Syr Darya rivals the Amu Darya in terms of size and significance. The Amu Darya is vital for four countries: Tajikistan, where it originates, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, where it ends, no longer reaching the Aral Sea. The Afghan water diversion project will also impact this nearly dried-out reservoir, but more on that later. The Amu Darya is crucial not only for drinking water but also for agriculture, which is a major economic driver for all four countries. Any changes to the river's flow have significant repercussions. Initially, it was a relief for these nations that Afghanistan's plans for an artificial river remained in the conceptual stage. However, in March 2022, Afghan officials announced the construction of the canal had begun. By January 2023, photos surfaced showing rapid progress, reminiscent of Mohammed Daoud Khan's vision. The project, named the Kosh-Tepe Canal, aims to divert water from the Amu Darya to the drought-stricken northern regions of Afghanistan. The first phase, completed in 18 months instead of the planned 24, involved building a 67-mile-long canal at a cost of 8.2 billion Afghanis, approximately $94 million, funded entirely from domestic revenue. The second phase, ongoing in the Balkh and Farah provinces, is nearly 81% complete, with the overall project 61% finished. The canal's construction is impressive, involving extensive earthworks, infrastructure like bridges, and soil stabilization efforts. Over 200 subcontractors and 5,500 workers are using 3,300 pieces of equipment to complete the 177-mile canal, which will cost an estimated $684 million. However, the project has faced challenges. In early 2023, satellite images revealed a breach in the canal, spilling 26 billion gallons of water due to the lack of concrete lining. Despite this, construction continued at a rapid pace. While the canal promises to solve many of Afghanistan's water and agricultural problems, it poses serious threats to neighboring countries, particularly Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, which rely heavily on the Amu Darya for agriculture. The canal is expected to divert 2.6 trillion gallons of water annually, reducing the flow to downstream countries and exacerbating existing water shortages. This could devastate their economies, especially since agriculture, particularly cotton production, is a significant part of their GDP. Uzbekistan, for instance, is a major global cotton producer, and reduced water flow could lead to a cascade of economic and social problems. The canal's impact extends beyond agriculture. The Amu Darya's reduced flow has already contributed to the desiccation of the Aral Sea, creating the Aralkum Desert, a source of toxic dust affecting regions as far as Antarctica. The canal could worsen this environmental disaster, threatening ecosystems and public health. Despite these concerns, Afghanistan is proceeding with the project to address its own crises. The country faces severe droughts, unemployment, and food shortages, with only 42% of the population having access to water. The canal aims to irrigate 1.36 million acres of land, potentially transforming the northern region into a fertile agricultural hub, creating jobs and improving food security. While the project offers hope for Afghanistan, it underscores the complex interplay between national development and regional resource management, highlighting the urgent need for cooperative solutions to shared challenges. The Kosh-Tepe Canal represents a double-edged sword for Afghanistan and its neighbors. On one hand, it offers a lifeline to a country grappling with severe water scarcity, unemployment, and food insecurity. On the other hand, it threatens to exacerbate existing tensions over water resources in an already fragile region. For Afghanistan, the canal is not just an infrastructure project. It is a symbol of hope and a potential pathway to stability. By irrigating 1.36 million acres of land, the canal could revitalize agriculture in the northern provinces, providing food, jobs, and economic opportunities for millions of people. The project has already created thousands of jobs during its construction phase, and once completed, it is expected to employ 250,000 people in agriculture alone. This could significantly reduce unemployment, which stood at 14.39% in 2023, and improve living standards in a country where 27% of the rural population lacks access to proper sanitation. Moreover, the canal could help Afghanistan move away from its reliance on illicit crops like opium poppies, which have long been a source of instability and conflict. In April 2022, the Afghan government banned opium cultivation, leading to a dramatic reduction in poppy field from 500,000 acres in 2022 to virtually zero in 2023. With the new fertile lands created by the canal, farmers can shift to legal crops such as wheat, corn, and other staples, further stabilizing the economy and reducing the country's dependence on foreign aid. However, the benefits for Afghanistan come at a significant cost to its neighbors. Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, which are downstream of the Amu Darya, are particularly vulnerable to the canal's impact. Both countries rely heavily on the river for agriculture, which forms the backbone of their economies. Turkmenistan, for instance, uses water from the Amu Darya to grow cotton and wheat, accounting for 10% of its GDP. Uzbekistan, the world's sixth-largest cotton producer in 2021, depends on the river to irrigate 2.4 million acres of cotton fields, which support nearly half of its workforce and provide livelihoods for 40% of its population. A reduction in water flow due to the Kosh-Tepe Canal could lead to lower agricultural output, economic decline, and social unrest in these countries. The environmental consequences of the canal are equally alarming. The Amu Darya's reduced flow has already contributed to the near total disappearance of the Aral Sea, once one of the largest lakes in the world. The desiccation of the Aral Sea has created the Aralkum Desert, a toxic wasteland that generates 100 million tons of salt and dust annually. This dust, laden with pesticides and fertilizers from irrigated fields, poses serious health risks to local populations and has been detected as far away as Antarctica, Greenland, and Norway. The Kosh-Tepe Canal could accelerate this environmental disaster, further reducing the Amu Darya's flow and making it nearly impossible to restore the region's water ecosystems. Species like the Amu Darya sturgeon, already on the brink of extinction, could disappear entirely, along with other fish and wildlife that depend on the river and its floodplains. The canal also highlights the lack of a comprehensive water-sharing agreement among the countries that rely on the Amu Darya. During the Soviet era, water allocations were determined by Protocol 566 in 1987, which divided the river's resources among Uzbekistan, 48.2%, Turkmenistan, 35.8%, Tajikistan, 15.4%, and Kyrgyzstan, 6%. Afghanistan, not being part of the USSR, was excluded from these agreements. Even after the Soviet Union's collapse, Afghanistan was not formally included in any water-sharing arrangements, leaving it free to use the river's resources as it saw fit. This lack of cooperation has created a volatile situation where one country's actions can have far-reaching consequences for its neighbors. The construction of the Kasht-Tepe Canal underscores the urgent need for regional cooperation on water management. Without a collaborative approach, the competition for the Amu Darya's resources could lead to conflict, further destabilizing an already tense region. International organizations and neighboring countries must work together to establish fair and sustainable water-sharing agreements that balance the needs of all stakeholders. This could involve investing in water-saving technologies, improving irrigation efficiency, and exploring alternative water sources to reduce reliance on the Amu Darya. For Afghanistan, the canal represents a bold step towards self-sufficiency and economic development. However, the country must also consider the broader implications of its actions and engage in dialogue with its neighbors to mitigate the potential negative impacts. The international community can play a crucial role in facilitating these discussions and providing technical and financial support to ensure that the canal's benefits are maximized while minimizing its risks. In conclusion, the Kasht-Tepe Canal is a testament to Afghanistan's determination to overcome its challenges and build a better future for its people. However, it also serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of water resources in Central Asia and the need for cooperation to address shared challenges. As the canal nears completion, the region stands at a crossroads where the choices made today will shape the future of millions of people and the environment for generations to come. Balancing national interests with regional stability and environmental sustainability will be key to ensuring that the canal becomes a source of prosperity rather than conflict.